this is Renee Hahn with Downing-Frye Realty, serving Naples and surrounded areas, and this is a piece I call Ask Renee, where I take on some of the more common questions that I get as a real estate agent in the area and give you some very candid, straightforward answers that are hopefully helpful. So one of the things that often gets asked about is, the value of a realtor. Probably less on the buying side, a little bit more on the selling side. Why is that? Because the sellers are responsible for the commission when they sell their home. So the buyers tend to be, I don't want to say less worried, but it tends to come up less around the value proposition because essentially that real estate agent is free to them. But it does come up on the listing side. And so I thought from my experiences, I'd give you a couple of reasons of where I think a real estate agent can bring you some value. The first one I always talk about is in the area of home valuation. And this is important whether you're buying or selling property. It's working with somebody who is an expert on the area, the real estate market, and what home values are going for. And this is more than just running a report and saying the last 3 houses sold for $500,000, $505,000, $510,000. Therefore, that's what my home is worth. It's actually understanding the value of what makes homes different one from the other. Why one sold for more and one sold for less when you look at all of the variables, if you will, that affect the home value when you go to sell it. So that's a big one. And I'm sorry, folks, but no online tool with a programmed algorithm is going to get it right for you because it is very personalized and it takes someone with knowledge of the area, your community, being able to come into your home and personally view some of the things, some of the characteristics about your home. So home valuation. The second one is being aware of both the legalities of the real estate market. And I don't mean, none of us are lawyers in real estate. I shouldn't say none of us. We are not lawyers. We are professional realtors. However, when you've done enough deals and you understand what's going on, where some of the landmines could be, as an example, appraisals. Sometimes being able to understand the appraisal process and how that might affect a deal, particularly when a home may not appraise for what somebody has offered and contracted to purchase it for. So a real estate agent brings that knowledge, and they are a connector amongst other resources, whether it is an attorney or whether it's an appraiser or different things. So they can be instrumental in that process, again, on the buying or selling side. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. The deal maker, that's another one. Common sense dictates that, that a real estate agent should be versed in the skill of negotiation. And I say this is more than just negotiating a contract price, right? That is certainly a piece of negotiation, but a true negotiator works it from a relationship standpoint long before you're dealing with the negotiation on your particular property, because they're networked, they're connected, again, they're knowledgeable about the market, so that then going into different kinds of negotiations, they're prepared to represent you and your needs. By the way, there's more than just the negotiation of the sales price. Negotiation also comes in during the inspection process and other parts of the process along the way. So making sure that you've got someone who's a trusted advisor and who has the finesse, knowledge, and negotiating skills to work that on your behalf. Let's see what else. I'd say, the fact that in real estate, there are a ton of resources out there. I won't argue it. Google can be everybody's best friend, and Alexa helps with that, and so does Siri. But it can also be a loaded weapon, because if you're just doing a blind search on whatever your real estate question is or whatever the topic is, and you don't know enough about the local practices, the local laws, the local behaviors, then that information may or may not be applicable, and in the wrong hands, it builds up a sense of confidence that people know something when in fact they may be way off. So another area that I talk about is an agent who actually brings firsthand knowledge and expertise. Then you don't have to rely on a Google search and run the risk that the information you found might be inaccurate. It's funny, I'll just say this. Doctors will tell you the same thing because the internet is just a wealth of resources when it comes to healthcare and learning about diseases and treatments, and that's all good education. But at the end of the day, there's a reason that we have doctors, and to a lesser degree, perhaps because I don't save lives, I save homes, and I help make people I help them with happy lives. I don't save lives, so I'm not by any means comparing myself to a doctor, but it is, a common comparison with regards to the topic I just discussed. I think also I look at the amount of work I take on my shoulders on behalf of my buyers and sellers during the transaction process. I map my whole process out. In fact, I've taken the time to actually systematically, electronically automate it. And so I step them through. They don't have to know all the deadlines. They don't have to know all the requirements. They don't have to know any of that because I'm there to guide them through every step of it, and not in an overwhelming way, but in a way that gives them what they need when they need it with advance notice of what's coming down the pipe, so that they always feel like their transaction is in control and moving forward and going very smooth. What else would I say? We obviously go through a fair amount of training, both at the front end of getting our license, but we also have ongoing requirements around training, ethics, legal matters, as well as contracts and other things, not to mention skill sets, to make sure that we are always bringing you the latest and greatest and freshest skill set to help you accomplish your real estate goals, so that you don't have to spend time on it. The other thing I would just say is that, particularly on the selling side, the amount of work I put into marketing and selling my customers' homes is probably beyond what you would even imagine. It's more than just putting it up on the MLS site. I build dedicated property pages. I am networking with agents. I'm doing paid advertisements. I belong to the MLS, which I pay to do so that my customers' homes can be advertised locally. I'm part of the luxury network so that my clients' homes can be advertised internationally. All of those things come with a cost. So yes, at the end of the day, a client may see a dollar amount that commission goes to my broker, and I get a piece of that. You have to remember that I've already put that investment into selling your property through all of those things that I've done, the web pages, the paid advertisements, the professional photographs, the signage in the yard, all of the things to capture an audience of potential buyers that may be interested in purchasing your home. So with that, and in the intent of keeping these Q&As in under 10 minutes, I wanted to wrap it up and just say, if you ever have any questions about the value that a real estate agent is using, feel free to give me a call. I would happily put you in touch with any of my past customers. I'm very, very proud of the fact that every customer I have served to date in my real estate business has rated me a 5 out of 5 stars. And I haven't been cherry picking them. I give them to every single customer because I believe that feedback is important to continue to help me run the kind of real estate business that I want you to experience. But feel free at any time to pick up the phone and call me at 239-287-2576. And I'm happy to have a dynamic conversation with you about the type of value I could bring you specifically in your real estate goals. Thanks, and have a fantastic day.